Hello everybody, it is your favorite heretic again, and I have a new model to show off. This particular model is known as the Great Brey-Shaman. He is a hero unit for the Beasts of Chaos in the Age of Sigmar game. He has the following stat lines. He has a 6-inch movement, 5 wounds, a 6-up armor save, and a 6 bravery. He comes equipped with a fetish staff that has a 2-inch range, 1 attack, +4 to hit, +3 to wound, and a -1 on the rend, as well as a D3 for damage. His abilities first one is known as the Infuse with Bestial Vigor. At the start of your movement phase, add 3 inches to the move characteristics of models in friendly Brey Herd units wholly within 12 inches of any friendly Great Brey-Shamans until the end of that phase. He can cast magic. Basically, that means he is a wizard, and he can cast 1 spell during the hero phase, and it can attempt to unbind a spell during the enemy hero phase. He knows up to 3 spells. The first one is Arcane Bolt, the second one is Mystic Shield, and the third one is Devolve. Devolve has a casting value of 7, and if it succeeds, you can select an enemy unit within 18 inches of the caster that is visible to them, and not within 3 inches of any other friendly unit. Not of any friendly units, correction. Your opponent must move that unit up to 2d6 closer to any friendly unit of yours. Basically, this is useful if you want to force a particular model to come toward you. As long as he moves closer, that's all that really matters for that. So, for the Great Brey-Shaman, he's something relatively simple, relatively easy. He basically can stand in for a hero unit, which definitely is going to need to be led for one of your armies, just specifically for the Beasts of Chaos. For the model itself, I kind of focused more on I'm trying to go for a winter theme with my Beastman army, as I said before with the Herdstone. We'll go ahead and we'll go over what I used for the paints. To start simple, for the Citadel colors, I started off with the Rekoth flesh for the initial portion of his hood, the Rhinox hide for the back of the cloak as a base, Mephiston red for the upper portion, and Dryad bark for his staff, as well as do his skin starting off with a Bugman's glow. For the army painter, I used leather brown for the straps, dark stone for the rocks, uniform gray for his fur, and skeleton bone for the bones. To wash him down, I went ahead and used Reikland Flesh Shade for his skin, and Adrax Earth Shade for the stone, the fur, and all of the remaining bones and wood, as well as the cloak. For highlights, I used Evil Sun Scarlet to highlight any top portion involving the upper portion of his red cloak. I used Gothorn Brown to do a first layer for the robe, as well as Baneblade Brown for the stencils, as well as the final highlight toward it. For the highlight of his skin, I used Cadian Flesh Tone, as well as Kislev Flesh to finish off the brightness. And finally, I dry brushed Palid Witch Flesh for the frontal hood, on the topmost as well as the first cloth in front. Finally, for the winter aesthetic, I kind of went a little lazy on this one. To start off, to simply put, I just dashed in of a Holland Blizzard for the texture paint, as well as did a dry brush all around with a matte white in order to give that winter effect. To also add a bit more detail, instead of just putting it on the base itself, I thought of the different places that snow would coalesce, such as the very tip of his hood and between his horns, more likely on the very top of the statue, as well as parts of the eyes as well. Basically, spots here or there where snow may collect, even though he is wandering around. Alright guys, that is it for this one. I thank you very much for joining me on this, and like I said, this is going to be somewhat of a theme with most of my Beastman units. Sadly, I didn't receive any of my Warp Crate things, because this guy only took roughly about 5 hours of actual painting, but I took about 2 days. The first day I focused more on getting all the base colors done, while the second day I waited for the wash to dry and then applied the appropriate layer paints. But other than that, tell me what you guys think. You guys got any suggestions on what I could have done differently or what I should have used instead? Well, let me think about it for the future. Also, if you guys want to see the painting process, go ahead and take a look at the link toward my Twitch to actually watch my replays and see different paint styles and art I do from there. I thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.